A Maryland family relieved tonight as a years-long saga stemming from an unpaid debt has now been resolved. A disabled veteran has been paying a debt settlement company for years, hoping it would negotiate a lower payment amount with his credit card company.
But a source with inside knowledge tells 11 News investigates the settlement company had gone quiet.
Yeah, Marshall Keeley explains what happened and what you should look out for.
Feelings of relief after years of frustration.
Thank you. We are finally, to a resolution that I never thought was ever coming, to be honest.
More than $11,000 in credit card debt wiped away by a major bank after an 11 News investigates inquiry.
When they called, I was really in shock.
The family of a disabled veteran overjoyed.
He was so excited because we've been dealing with this for so long, and it's been over his head with the worry of having a lien put on his house or freezing all his bank accounts.
The veteran took on debt settlement company Beyond Finance in 2023, worried they wouldn't have enough to pay off their Wells Fargo credit card. The company agreed to negotiate with Wells Fargo on the veteran's behalf. The veteran's family member, Kristen Schirmer, became power of attorney in 2025 as letters from lawyers started pouring in.
We can't have this continue. It's causing mental health issues for everybody involved.
Wells Fargo sent the debt to a Florida-based legal firm. Other than a few emails from Wells Fargo detailing an initial settlement offer, Schirmer says she could not communicate with the bank or the firm about the debt. The only updates she received were from Beyond Finance.
And I talked to Beyond many, many times, and they would always send me an email and say, hey, we have an offer, or they would call and say, we have an offer, and just give us a call. And they would tell me it was Wells Fargo. They would constantly tell me it was Wells Fargo and that Wells Fargo is very hard to work with.
A source with knowledge of the negotiations tells 11 News investigates Beyond Finance offered this more than $9,000 lump payment for the debt. After that, our source says Beyond Finance stopped talking to Wells Fargo. Schirmer says Beyond Finance told her these settlement offers were the result of ongoing negotiations. Beyond Finance sent her 8 offers between September 2025 and June of this year, some upwards of $13,000. The email from Beyond Finance saying, currently we are working on another offer for this account.
I have to assume Beyond is telling me, because they want to get paid, that what they're giving me is true. So that's really frustrating.
In a letter from Wells Fargo, a company representative told Schirmer, we were unable to identify any calls from Beyond Finance within Wells Fargo's records, nor did we find any indication that Beyond Finance was prevented from communicating with the outside law firms representing Wells Fargo. Schirmer says her conversations with Beyond Finance left her concerned Wells Fargo could place a lien on the veteran's home, garnish wages, or hold accounts.
They told me it was Wells Fargo that froze an entire bank account for somebody because of non-payment. So I was like, I had no reason not to believe them.
The field of debt settlement is prone to bad actors.
Maryland Commissioner of Financial Regulation Tony Salazar could not discuss the specifics of Schirmer's case or Beyond Finance, but says debt settlement companies should be a last resort.
Bankruptcy would be even preferable to working through a debt settlement company because of the negative implications to your credit report, right? To your lack of control over how much they are working on your behalf.
The agreement the veteran signed with Beyond Finance bears this out. Quote, the use of companies' debt resolution services will likely adversely affect clients' creditworthiness. And, quote, communications with creditors are handled on a case-by-case basis.
In these arrangements, they often ask the consumer to put money in an escrow account. So they'll say, oh, your creditor is only going to accept a payment of so much, a percentage. So you need to put that in here. We will negotiate with them. And that number is where they will take their fee from.
Including Beyond Finance's 25% fee, the veterans agreement estimates an almost $11,500 payment after negotiations. The agreement also warns Beyond Finance cannot force creditors to negotiate with them or to accept an offered settlement. Unless the companies reached an agreement lower than his original debt, the veteran would have paid at least $17,000.
Our experience with these companies is that there is a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of misunderstanding. So consumers may not hear what the company is saying. They may not understand that the company will not reach out to their creditor until they have so much money put in escrow.
Salazar encourages consumers to be upfront.
Contact your creditors directly, because they may have programs in and of themselves that they would offer you to help you with the payment.
In a statement, Beyond Finance said it could not comment on any client's financial situation, citing confidentiality. The company writing, quote, "In 2025 alone, Beyond Finance helped more than 500,000 clients, resolved $4.7 billion in debt, and helped clients save more than $1.17 billion that otherwise would have gone toward debt obligations, even after fees." Schirmer says she did not review the contract with Beyond Finance when she became the veteran's power of attorney. The Maryland Office of Financial Regulation says it received more than 150 complaints about debt settlement in 2025 alone. The office recommends reading your agreement thoroughly before signing. Marshall Keeley, WBAL-TV 11 News investigates.